Rumi Forum's mission as part of Hizmet is to do what the word Hizmet in Turkish means, which is service. So it is to provide service to humanity. And the way that service is articulated is along educational and social and dialogical paths, with the connection to schools, the connection to social programs, and most of all for Rumi Forum, the connection to interfaith and multicultural dialogue of various and sundry sorts, whether it's an iftar dinner or whether it is, such as this evening, a kind of annual dinner that honors someone who is doing this kind of work and brings people together in community.
I think tonight is really important to bring people together and talk about interfaith, and that's what I think the Rumi Forum is doing, and I applaud it a lot because the need for interfaith today is more important than ever. Bringing people from different backgrounds together is more important than ever. And as we look at what's happening, even the streets in the United States now, increasing hate, anti-Jewish, anti-Muslim, pretty much anybody, polarization. So it's very important to bring people together, and that's what the Rumi Forum is doing today, and it's something to applaud.
I think the Rumi Forum is doing extraordinarily important work. I think there's a real need, particularly in the kind of times that we're living in, whether here in the US or in the Middle East or literally anywhere seemingly, that people are rapidly losing the ability to disagree in a way that doesn't lead to violence. Like to disagree in a way that can be constructive, to disagree in a way that can lead to greater understanding as opposed to less understanding. And what the Rumi Forum is doing is really, at least in my mind, trying to create spaces for people to lead to understanding even in disagreement, which is just so critical.
I appreciate the work of the Rumi Forum. As a Muslim, I believe in really interfaith dialogue, and I think that Rumi Forum just not idolizes, but really uplifts interfaith dialogue and allows us opportunities to fellowship with our Abrahamic brothers and sisters, as well as non-believers, as well as folks who are not of the Abrahamic faiths, and really become students, and learn about culture, religion, and learn together.
I think that the work of Rumi Forum and Hizmet is very seminal in this world. It's one of the few movements in the world's great religions that absolutely raises and extols the role of rationality and this gift of a brain that Allah has given us to heal the world. And that's what drew me to it when I first was dragged to a Pacifica Institute event in Los Angeles by a rabbi and Reza Aslan together. And I've never strayed from being a friend of the Rumi Forum. The work is so important, bringing people together across, building bridges across, using faith, enterprise, education, media. It's all there. I remember when Diane Sawyer did her documentary on Hizmet, 4 out of the top 10 STEM charter schools in the United States were Hizmet schools. Didn't surprise me.
I've known about Rumi Forum and worked with some of its leaders for quite a few years now, and I have a lot of admiration for the work that Rumi does in, first of all, being a moderate voice within the Muslim community, and then also reaching out to members of other faiths and other communities. There can never be too many people doing this kind of work. And so I'm grateful that the Rumi Forum is doing it. And also, I know they've started a new project to create a foundation that deals with, from a more scholarly aspect, with issues of interfaith work and religious freedom. And that's a worthwhile project as well. So it's a terrific organization. I'm glad to work with Mehmet Sarakoglu and other leaders with the organization, and look forward to continuing to do so in the future.